Okay, another CTF tips and suggestions video. Gephyrophobia, which I'm going to call Gephy,
Capture the flag.
because that's a cool but absurdly long name. So always remember that your overshield spawns underneath your flag every minute like clockwork. You should pick it up if it's there, always. I mostly like this map. Sometimes I hate the bottomless pit aspect, because I like to do a lot of silly warthog jumps and ejecting. And it's pretty easy to fly into the abyss if you're not careful. But it's an interesting map. So one of my preferred strategies, and this will only work if there aren't a ton of people camping in here, is to just fly in, grab the
Red
flag,
team has the flag.
quick re-enter, turn around, make sure your wings fit through these doorways by aiming it right, and then in most cases you'll be home free. Snipers on the side can tag you, which is why it's usually best to fly as close underneath this bridge as humanly possible. Just follow the route. Hopefully you'll have
Red
an overshield.
team has the flag.
And same thing, just fly in and drop it off. Make sure to, try to get your wings through that gap. They need to be aligned to the sides as best you can.
Score.
So that's quick and easy. I mean, you can score in under a minute doing that. Make sure, don't get knocked the hell out. Okay, get rid of my overshield there. There's another overshield that spawns here every minute, and if you're in a Banshee, I also recommend, so if I'm going to do the kind of grab I just did, always pick that up. You've also got overshield that spawns on one side every minute, so there's, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the map? Way different than most maps, as far as power-up distribution. Let's do some ground stuff. Now, most people are going to use Ghost on the bottom rail, as I usually would call it in a match. And they're going to enter the tunnels, pick it up, and then use the same exact route back. That is probably the most reliable way to get a flag out in this map, and I highly recommend learning it. So you need to work on your driving, because you're trying not to connect to the walls, bang into them, get flipped around, slow down. Also, hitting the walls can alert enemies that are camping that you're coming.
Red team has the
So
flag.
you'll do a quick pickup. Just go as quick as possible. People do spawn down here, so be wary of that. And oftentimes, people will recommend that you drive backwards so that you're taking less damage. Ghosts take less damage from the front end. Oh, don't hit the wall.
Red team has the flag.
Yeah, just kind of smooth, drive back, turn around when you feel safe. There are a few points that a good sniper can hit you from the ramps, but they have to be in pretty specific spots to be able to see you well. So this is, without a doubt, the safest route to capping.
Red team has the flag. Blue
Okay,
team,
let's talk about some
flag
weird spots you
returned.
may not know about. Let me pick up the, it's like normally I'll pick up the rockets, that's every 2 minutes. I lean heavily on rockets because I'm not as good with hit scan weapons. I'll pick up my camo. And more people tend to spawn up front than they do downstairs, so I'll often get out here. And there are some interesting routes in that people might not know of. People are almost always looking straight ahead, so this can work sometimes. You line it up, walk up this invisible, well not invisible, this white energy beam. I have actually gotten into bases more often than you would expect with this. Make sure you're crouching when you land. If there's tons of people spawning up front, that is one of the only safe ways in. Because even with camo, anyone who has decent eyes will see you moving. So, go above them. I am obviously not too, like I said, not good with hit scan weapons, so I tend not to snipe in this map. But if you're good at it, these rails are great. I mean, you can pretty much take anyone out in the middle level. And you can spawn farm because of how people tend to spawn in these front areas. It can get kind of nasty. Okay, I think I'm going to show... So kind of similar to what I just did. If I'm coming in, I grab the camo, which I almost always will try to do. There's people starting to spawn up front. I'll do one of my ejects. I'll launch myself into the abyss, just like I talked about earlier. Let's do one more try. Sometimes it's good to have a floor, eh? Damn, I'm at the bottom. Okay, one more try. I would say this is an important map to try to get good at quick pickups for these. Like, that wasn't a great one, but... So, okay, people are spawning out front. I'm going to eject. And then I'm going to jump down to their lower level. And if there's a ghost here, I will then move in with the ghost. Hopefully having not been spotted. And do the same kind of ghost pickup we talked about earlier. You know, grabbing the overshield if it's there. Quick in and out. Now, when you were moving in, if you saw that they had a banshee spawned upstairs that they weren't using, oftentimes going to grab that could be very beneficial as well, because people are going to spawn up there and below, and if they're smart, they're going to be waiting for you to come out of that tunnel system. What else can I talk about here? Sometimes people will snipe camp up here, but you are extremely vulnerable to another sniper because there's no real cover other than being in a perfect spot in the middle there. So I actually don't recommend that too much. If you were looking for a cheeky sniping camping spot where people are less likely to immediately look, my recommendation is these thin ledges. Not a ton of people know about them. So... once again, I mean, there's no real cover, and you're pretty much eye level with the upper ramps, but it can work. I think you are pretty much done, though, when you...
Red team has the flag.
Kill me.
Blue team, flag returned.
So yeah, I guess I don't have a ton more to share there. I would say Ghost on the bottom rail is the best way, followed by Banshee through the front door if you're a good pilot, and Brave, and there's not a big camp. Warthog's in a pinch, but it's pretty hard to do a quick pickup with one. Maybe I'll see if I can pull that off real fast, and then we'll end this. Oh, actually, hold on, before I do that. There are other ways down from the top level. Like, let's say I know someone is going to come out of the tunnels with the ghost with the flag, and I want to try to stop them, especially if I have rockets. You can do very easily slide down this and get down here with taking no damage. It will also work on that one, but you're probably going to take damage. It's a steeper incline with a little hard fall at the end. So my recommendation is to use that one, and you know, same setup on both sides there. Fast way down. Another thing people will do is if I know ghosts are coming, I'll grab that rocket spawn and I'll, you know, jump up and hit them with the rockets. That's a very good strat. Okay, let's try to do the Warthog pickup I talked about. I keep getting distracted. Okay, one other thing. If you're in a situation where flag must be home to score, and you're waiting for your team to try to return it, my recommendation is probably to sit right here with a ghost while you're holding the flag. This will allow you to see ahead. People are less likely to come in behind you, but it can happen if they were entering your base from a different way to find you. And if you do, if someone's coming, or I think I'm going to get overwhelmed, then I have, you know, I can go try for a Banshee, I can kind of loop around the tunnels. In a real pinch, I can come out here. If you press spacebar to lift your ghost, you can actually get over this. You almost never want to try to take the flag out front. More people spawn out here than anywhere on the map, but if you had to because there was no other option, that's my recommendation, because people will be shooting at you from behind. But ideally, you can just lift over this thing. I held spacebar there. bounce in, and then I'm going to try to make it to the lower rail just about every instance, because it's safer. Okay, Warthog pickup, and then we're done. It's a shame I don't have any more of these to make, really, because I don't care for the small maps, so I'm not going to come up with too many of these for those. Okay, so if you're going for quick pickup, it's tough. It's like thin ledge, even for a good Warthog driver. But if you probably work on
Red team has the
you can
flag.
do that at least. And the one benefit of this is that a Warthog is way harder to kill than a Ghost, so you're more likely to survive the return journey. With people shooting at your rear end and not being able to make full contact with your model. So yeah, that's about it.
Red team has the flag.
Gephyrophobia. Thank you for watching.